Okay, today I want to share with you how you can find the perfect business for you. I'm approached by people all the time saying, geez, Paul, I would love to buy a business, but I just don't know what to buy. What would work for me? So I want to share with you a little bit here on this video on what I've learned over the years, okay? Now, how to find the perfect business. There is no perfect business for everyone. No one business fits everyone. And I say that because we all have four different personalities. All human beings have four different personalities. And I want to introduce you to those because it's vitally important for you to know what your personality is in order for you to buy a business that's going to be the perfect one for you because it's based on your personality. Now, before we get into it, I want to share with you we all deal with all different four personalities, okay? Given whatever situation we're in at the moment, one of those personalities will show up. However, we all have a dominant one. And that dominant one is the one that always shows up when there's times of stress, when we're in high stress levels. Always. That being the case, you want to buy a business that's going to fit your dominant personality. Otherwise, what happens is, business goes up and down, and you're going to have good times, you're going to have bad. And what will happen is you're going to be going through a stressful time, your dominant personality will show up, and that might not be the one that's necessary at the time based on the business you're in or based on how you, as the owner, are positioned within that business. Does this make sense? So, my dad always used to say, you can whitewash the stripes off a zebra, you can put a saddle on his back and call it a horse, but after a couple of rains, all you have is a zebra with a saddle on its back. Okay, so, it's kind of a corny saying, but it's true. So if we go from one personality to the next, okay, well, we can do that, just like taking the stripes off a zebra, but we're always going to go back to a dominant one. I want to share them with you, because this is important, and you can find this out for yourself going online. We all have four different personalities. There's a program, actually, and I believe this program goes all the way back to the Greek Empire, or the Roman Empire, I'm sorry. We have a D, we have an I, we have an S, and we have a C. And I want to introduce you to them real quick. The D, of course, is dominant. He's going to run over the bodies. He's going to push people out of the way and do whatever he wants to do. Give you an idea of who a D is. Jack Welch from GE is a D. He's a high D personality. The president, right now, President Trump is a D. The I personality loves people. Everything's a party. Hey, you know that person that walks into a group of people, say into a social gathering, and all of a sudden just knows everybody with instantly, can walk around and introduce themselves and their life of the party. Everything's happy. That's an I. An S is a person that's reserved and kind of quiet. Going back to the I is Sir Richard Branson, to give you an idea. Sir Richard Branson's always happy. And S is reserved, he's focused, he's reserved, kind of quiet, going to get things done. He's in the background, never wants to make any waves. Okay, the guys that started Google are S's. And then you have the C. The C is an organized person. Everything is done with checklists. There's a system for everything. They're very focused and very organized. Bill Gates from Microsoft is a C, to give you an example. Why are these important? Because I'm going to use my own story, okay? I'm a D. Being a D, if I were to, say, buy an accounting firm, a law firm, a medical firm, something like that, given my personality, I would get along fine with the people until there's stress. And then I'm going to, kind of be forward, be firm and tough. What will happen is the employees would end up hating me after a short amount of time, and they would leave the business. Okay, they would seek other employment. And at the same time, for a D, if I was in the construction business, perfect, because that's the language the employees speak. An I loves people. If you were an I personality, you would want to have a business that you deal with the public. It could be a tourism industry, it could be a restaurant, anything like that. That's who you want to have for an I. An I person is a person that's going to deal with people all the time. An S, it's a reserved person. Person that's going to be behind the scenes. Now we'll go back to the accounting firm. Perfect person to own an accounting firm or a medical office or something else like that. Somewhere where they're going to be in the background. And a C is really organized. The C is the type of person that can everything. I mean, that's the type of person, you know, that their shirt's always perfect, always dressed just right. You walk in the house and everything is organized. You walk into a garage, say, and all of the tools are in the proper place. They're highly organized. If they're in business, and their bookshelves, their filing cabinets will be perfect. Everything is so perfect, and they deal with checklists. So why is this important? Because once you know where you are, then you know what type of a business you want to buy, or if you own a business and your dominant personality, whichever one it is, you're not in the proper position within that business, get yourself, reposition yourself. Figure out where you have to be within the business so you have fun, so you're servicing your dominant personality, because that's the one that always shows up. That's how you buy a perfect business. You either buy one that matches your personality, or if you have one, get yourself in a position where your personality serves that business the best, and then you'll like what you're doing. I found that many businesses, through my research and through just seeing it for myself and being exposed to it, that most businesses, existing businesses that are sold to a new owner, they go out. The ones that go out of business within 3 to 5 years is because the buyer bought a business that looked good to them, but their dominant personality eventually showed up. And they ended up hating the business, not liking what they were doing, or they were improperly positioned into it. And what happened was they drove the business to the ground, they sold it, they were miserable, they closed the doors, or whatever it was. Okay, because of this. It's vitally important. You want to get yourself positioned properly, so you look forward to going to work, or so you're capitalizing on your natural abilities, your dominant personality trait. If you can service your dominant personality trait, you'll never go to work. You'll always have fun, no matter what it is, because you're doing what you're naturally good at. Does this make sense? So that's what you want to do. If you want to find the perfect business for you, whether it's buying it for long term, or if you're going to buy one to fix it up and turn it around, you want to look for a business. I'm going to use that real quick before we go here. If you're going to buy a business to build it up and sell it, you want to put yourself in the proper position in order to do so. So don't take this lightly. This is really, really important. It goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. That's how the Romans would put their warriors in place. And I know it's how the American military places their special forces guys in place. Where they are positioned within a team is all based on the DISC program. So if it's good for the Romans, and if it's good for the U.S. military, it's good for you. Go online, just type in DISC program, D-I-S-C personality, and there's a ton of things will pop up. You can pay for the test. You can take the personality test for free. I think the second one down is for free. It's really enlightening. It'll really open your eyes. And it's vitally important for you to do so. If you want to buy a business, it's perfect for you. Perfect for you. Take the DISC program. I highly recommend it. Thanks. That's enough for this video. I'll see you on the next one.